Hey everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and welcome to this video, and I'm going to show you a few tricks with 3 of the Mishimas and how to enforce the game without actually having too much tools to bear. And this is going to be 3 separate videos, or exactly just or maybe I'm just going to merge it into one. We'll see when I upload it. But we are going to explain 3 characters today, and this is going to be Heihachi Mishima, Devil Jin, and Kazuya Mishima. And how do you actually do some of the stuff that like how do you make a simple game so strong without needing to do too much stuff? And this is going to be the main thing of this video, and I'm going to show you a game plan that works with the 3 characters. And it's pretty much the same game plan. It's only that the complementary tools that they have among them is the only thing that is going to change. And that's because of the archetype. Heihachi is a more centered poking character, while he has like really strong mids, he has crazy pressure, so he's going to pressure a lot. Kazuya is more around neutral, so he gets to do more with punishes and has easy punishes. And Devil Jin is the crazy motherfucker, sorry for the expression, but it's true. Is going to be the one with the mix-ups that you want to use to make some of the stuff that he does actually way more effective. But I love Heihachi in this one, and we are going to start this with Heihachi first because it's much easier to explain this from the Heihachi perspective. So let's say that the 3 tools that we are going to use in common among the 3 Mishimas are jab, electric, and while standing 4. Heihachi doesn't have a decent animation on down forward 4, but he has this one, so it doesn't count. But Heihachi, Kazuya and Devil Jin can have a down forward 4 that looks the same, so it can be good for pressure. But Heihachi can only use it in while standing 4, but you're still going to use that. And these are going to be the three main tools that all the 3 Mishimas are going to use to make their game work. You won't need as much arrow. So the only complementary tools that we are going to discuss in this video for Heihachi case is going to be down forward 1, is going to be a complementary tool. Forward 4 is going to be a complementary tool. Down back 4 is going to be his last complementary tool. Of course, people are saying, why not the health sweep? Well, you can surely add the health sweep because it's faster and it's good to force people to duck often. Yes, we can say that. And you have 442, but 442 in season 3 can be punished by more characters now, so isn't a tool that you are going to use often unless you are trying to force people to stand real quick. So we won't use 443 from this one. We're not going to use this, and surely we won't use that anyway because you don't need those moves. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use it. You can actually use it if you feel like. You can use whatever you feel like, but the main game plan of Heihachi are going to be around these tools that I have already explained it. So what these tools are, of course, on top of the jab, the electric, and the while standing 4, is going to be down back 4, down forward 1, and forward 4, and that's it. And just a fair warning, my stick still has a problem. I can sometimes do crouch dash as much as I need. Electrics tend to drop pretty often, so do not freak yourself if you see me dropping electrics. It's happening because my stick has an issue, which I can understand exactly why this is happening. So I don't know how to fix, and the only thing I'm doing right now is playing as much as I can in order to see if it makes it light, because it feels a little bit stiff, and I can do this often. I can really not do this often. So let's start. You can start a Heihachi game by jabbing a lot. It helps because the jab is +1 and has a lot of range, so you get to do jabs into sidestep or into back dashes. With the massive movement that he has is actually amazing. Another thing that you can do with a Heihachi game is instead of jab, you can now actually start doing electrics. And the Mishima's electrics compared to Jin have a main difference. And the main difference is, while both are +5, they have this pushback that you see between Leroy Smith and Heihachi Mishima. And this pushback is actually great for the Mishima characters, because Jin Electric is for pressure, right? And allows you to do multiple electrics up close, and machine gun this with standing 3, down forward 1, jabs, forward 4, and stuff like that. But the Mishima's electric, while doing the same thing, this can actually be good with Heihachi, but what you won't see people trying to retaliate Mishima's electric, mostly because of the pushback, because the pushback adds a mix-up to it, and when you try to retaliate, you will put yourself inside the whipping range with punishing range of the electric. As you see, if Leroy Smith tries to retaliate with a jab from this range, it's most likely like that is going to be hit by an electric, because the electric is going to occupy the rest of the range while punishing his jab. So isn't something that you want to do this often, because there is a risk of getting launched by a Mishima. I'm going to show you real quick. I already have this pre-recorded, so I can get the timing, but isn't going to be accurate because my electrics tend to drop. But the idea is to do this. So you guys can have an idea of how powerful this is. This is pretty much what I'm trying to explain. So the Mishimas can do this and Jin cannot do this. So this is one of the reasons why this game isn't really working with Jin. The pushback isn't there. But with Mishimas, it actually helps their games and makes the spacing game even more fearful, because they can just do this. Another thing that the electrics have that Jin doesn't have is the electric crashes. So if you see this again, there is a high possibility of being crushed by electric. Sorry. It's kind of hard to get, but there is a property there that allows you to actually cancel the electric into when you do the electric, it actually crashes some highs, but it's still there. It's just that the crash is kind of late and stuff like that. It's hard to get, but it's still there. It's one of the reasons why people play Mishimas a lot. And continuing, so what this will do to the Mishima game, first of all, you are going to have characters like ducking often, and when they duck, this is where Heihachi is going to be extremely strong in this case, because you want them to duck, because Heihachi has a few things that if you duck, like this for example, this is really good damage, and this is actually guaranteed. So if Heihachi hits you a forward 4, it becomes +13 on hit. I'm going to turn on frame data display for those followers that doesn't have this version paid. So if you do this on hit, is plus, as you guys can see, this is +13, and this is guaranteed, and sometimes it's even more than +13, sometimes it's +14. So this is extremely strong with Heihachi. So people will try to avoid this at all costs, because this does a lot of damage. I'm going to turn on the health gauge so that you guys can see. This is really good damage, and if you get caught by this often, you are going to die, especially at wall. If this catch you at wall, this is guaranteed. This is guaranteed damage. See how much damage it did? Almost 50%. And this is great with Heihachi. So you want to enforce this game because this is godlike, and you can do this by doing this into this often, and this is +9, as you guys can see. So it means that when you do this, you can actually electric, you can jab, you can do this, you can do this actually, and this is going to like is going to be amazing in situations where you think people like would like to retaliate against a Hachi, right? Do they want to retaliate? Do they really? Maybe not. So I'm going to turn this off, just to not make a mess. But the main goal is to force this game. And when they are so worried about this, like, oh man, if I duck, Ayashi is going to hit me hard with that forward 4 into down forward 1-2, which is guaranteed. So they don't want to get hit by that. Then you start to actually forcing your game with this. And this at +4, you can do more. You can electric, you can do down forward 1. It's not interruptible because down forward 1 is 13 frames. It will start faster than anything they do, and they can't even dig jab. They need to sidestep, and the side they are going to sidestep this. Let's say if they sidestep to the left, it's going to. If they try to sidestep right, it's going to catch them, and this electric can be stepped to this side. So if I do this, is going to catch them either way, so they cannot sidestep this way. Let's say maybe if they try to go to the other side, right, that side where they can avoid down forward 1. Can they avoid the jab? Nope, because jab will going to come real faster. But can they avoid electric? Oh, they can. So they are going to sidestep that side, but there is likely a chance of getting hit by it while you're doing it, as you guys can see. So I was being a little bit slower, but it's possible. As you guys can see, so it's kinda hard to do this without getting hit by it, so they have to sidestep one. But then you can start doing this. See? So are you going to sidestep duck or sidestep what? You can do this. Can you step this? So Ayashi is going to force a mix up on you. Either way, if you block this, he can realign actually. Will you duck? So that's pretty much his game. He can do this. He can do this. He can do this. What will you going to do? And this is extremely hard to avoid. Extremely hard. And you can actually play your game with this. So you can start doing down for one, jabs, down for one, jabs, electrics. But the time you feel like now it's time to start using the A game. The A game is going to be your forward 4 is going to be a massive tool to do. And you can do this pretty often. So what this is going to do is the following. They are going to be so triggered by the plus frames and the frame traps that they will start to retaliate with jabs. And with your spacing on the jabs, on the electrics, while standing far from distance, the lows, and they will start to, instead of trying to run or dodge the next attack, they will start to retaliate. And due to the movement being so good with this character, you are going to get electrics often. Yeah, that's true. You are going to get electrics often. And this pretty much sums up his game plan. You don't need anything else. Of course, due to the fear of this, of blocking this stuff, your health sweep is going to be a massive, like, this low is going to be really strong enforcing this, but so will his health sweep game. So his health sweep game is going to be still good, but more importantly, every time Ayashi gets like a knockdown, and they do not stand, right? Let's say. Sorry again. every time they don't stand, this is going to hit. It doesn't matter what they do, this is going to hit. So they cannot side roll, they need to stand right away in order to avoid it. But this is going to hit people, and it's going to flip, always going to flip them into a bad situation for Oki. So this is godlike, and you can still use like other laws, but this one is going to be your massive law. It's going to be your massive Oki option, and you still have this. So it's going to be a really strong game where either they stand and get hit by the mix-up, or they don't. And this pretty much sums up his game. Real simple, but real effective, and Heihachi has really strong bids, and you are going to use those a lot. So now let's take a look at Kazuya. Hey everyone, welcome to this video of Tekken 7, and now we are going to explain the sharing gameplay that Kazuya, Heihachi and Devil Jin have, that you can use actually the same tools pretty much with some complementaries to make their game work. So I have explained the Heihachi first, and now it's time to use Kazuya and give you guys some of the examples. And as I said before, the tools that we are going to use to explain this process are going to be the jab. It's going to be a jab, which is +1 and has excellent range, electrics, and of course while standing 4, which Kazuya in this case can also access by doing down forward 4. It's pretty much the same move, and not sure the frame data is the same. Let's just take a look into this, and this is -3 and this is -9, but still this is pretty good, and by a poke this is actually pretty good, this one being pretty much faster. And with the range of Kazuya on his backdashes, it's pretty godlike. So we in the Heihachi video, we shown how to make his game work in a more centered way. But now it's time to explain this with Kazuya, and what are the complementary tools that we are going to use to make this work. Actually, Kazuya can actually use 4-4-4 actually, but Kazuya is going to be a little bit more difficult to use 4-4-4 in this case, because his 4-4 cannot be accessed from crouch dash. So what you are going to do to cancel his wave dash into 4-4, you're gonna have to do a 4-4 after you do a crouch dash. So it's something that you're going to have to practice a little bit, but it's possible to do. When you do a wave dash, you do 4-4. Instead of doing 4-4, you do forward 4-4, right? You do this and you're going to get the forward 4, because it's going to cancel the dash into something. Or you can just do back forward, also works. If you do back forward 4 out of every crouch dash, you are going to cancel the forward buffering into the forward 4 itself. Just some of the tips out there. Another tool that you are going to use to make Kazuya's game so effective is going to be this tool right here, is down back 3, which is going to be a conditionment low. And of course Kazuya is naturally a 50-50 monster, so you will be able to mix up with 50-50s a lot with Kazuya. You are going to be able to do this. But even if you don't want to enforce a 50-50 game with Kazuya, you are still going to do fine with just spacing a lot, because Kazuya, different from the other Mishimas, he has an easy time going with electrics. He has a misstep, and the misstep is made by slightly tapping forward and then releasing the controller right away, and this forces him to do an automatic sidestep on random positions. Sometimes he goes left, sometimes he goes right. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but it's pretty much it. And what this does is it makes his electric 1 frame faster than the rest of the Mishimas. This includes Devil Jin and Kazuya, and let's say Jin too. And on top of this, of having crushing properties, his electric can be done crouching. Did you know that Kazuya can duck an electric? If Kazuya blocks a 14-frame low that recovers standing, he can actually punish. I'm going to show you this right now, since I have already shown you that just like the Mishimas itself can actually block you can block an electric from Mishima, and they are still going to hit you with electric if you try to retaliate them often. And Kazuya can just do this, of course. Sorry. He can do this while Heihachi has to do electrics and stuff, but Kazuya can actually do this. Just a few examples. And what I mean is, if Kazuya blocks like a low that recovers standing, he can actually electric without crush cancelling. There is no crush cancelling here. I'm just doing an electric. Just doing electrics. Just doing electrics. And what this does to his game is, where Heihachi has struggled like punishing while standing normals, and Devil Jin can only punish some things slightly, and Heihachi needs to crush cancel. Kazuya can just electric the hell out of you from crouching, and if you know how to do the 13-frame version of his electric, there isn't a minus 14-frame move or minus 15-frame move that you won't punish. So this makes him slightly dangerous at spacing aim. And you can still use the same tools the exact same way. You can jab, you can do this, and you can, of course, 50-50 your opponent into this and stuff like this. You can do this with Kazuya. And when it becomes the devil, oh man, should we use it? Just to show you a real quick example. No. When Kazuya becomes the devil, his forward 4 game is going to be just as good as Heihachi, because now if he catches you ducking, this is going to be guaranteed. That's true. It's going to be guaranteed. That's because let's just turn on the frame data real quick. So if he does this, is +7, as you guys can see, but when is +15, as you guys can see. So Kazuya can just do, Kazuya can just say, dude, fuck your normal, I'm just going to do this. So with a mid electric, he can just he can literally murder you for ducking a forward 4. Of course that this won't happen often, and you need to do this like from a wave dash, because his forward 4 doesn't comes out on like Heihachi does. Right? Heihachi has an easy time doing forward 4, not Kazuya. But if you practice this, you will be able to actually do this. And while this is just +7, and on devil mode this is too godlike, and that's guaranteed, guys. That's guaranteed. That's actually guaranteed. So This would sum up Kazuya's game. It's still going to revolve around his 50-50 slightly, but you can still play this game by doing jabs, of course force the electric and force them to duck into 4-4-3, which has a massive range, and it's only -3 if they block the 4-4-3. So it's really encouraging to do 50-50 with him. And of course, his while crouched, while standing punishment is also no joke because it's 13 frames. So he has an easier time punishing other characters, and enforcing his game is actually based around neutral more. So you are going to have an easier time punishing while stepping with Kazuya, doing side steps and stuff. And you will be able to do most of the stuff that you get to do with Heihachi while using this, and the health sweep, of course. So his complementary tools are not exactly this, because this isn't a tool that you are going to use for pressure, but the jab, which will force them to duck. Then you can start using this. You can start using those to make your game work. But people are going to press so much buttons against Kazuya that this is going to be extremely effective for him. So this sums up Kazuya. Now let's switch up to Devil Jin. Hi everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and welcome to another video, and this time we are finally here with Devil Jin, which we are going to explain the similarities on game plan that you can use with Heihachi, Devil Jin and Kazuya while having complementary tools. So just as them, the game is exactly the same, that you can enforce with this and that, which also this guy also has a down forward 4, and this one has a back 4. But what this character doesn't have is like a really powerful forward 4 to make it work out for him. But to compensate the lack of the forward 4, Devil Jin is Kazuya on steroids per se. His mix-ups is terrible good, his spokes are terrible good, and he has some stuff that are incredible. Like for example, his health sweep is a full combo, and people are going to look out for this often. So his complementary tools are going to be based around health sweep, not as much as Heihachi. But Heihachi is the one which you're going to rely less on the health sweep. You're going to condition people more with pokes. But Devil Jin and Kazuya, you have health sweep as a complementary tool. And you have also this move right here, this low. This low is actually pretty good, just turning on the frame data when needed. Not something that you need to do often, but it's +3, right? And at +3, you can while standing 4 to prevent stuff from happening. And he also has this one, which is -1. It's just a really small low poke. A really small low poke, but still amazing tool. But what is going to make Devil Jin amazing is this stuff. This is a mid that is +8 on hit. You don't want to get hit by this because it is a mid that is safe, and he can delay, and while he hits it can make it -6 by cancelling, and then just, well, as you guys can see, in his 50-50 game revolves around instant while standing cancelling this into this. So when you think that he's going to health sweep, he has this stuff, and this stuff is insane. So he gets to do, and this is only -12 actually, -12. And so it's a risk worth taking, which is far more than the CD1 from Jin actually. And this crashes a lot of stuff, and it also tracks to his weak side while doing it. So you won't be able to actually avoid this by sidestep ducking. Let's say they sidestep duck, right? Or they sidestep to the left, which is Mishima's weak side, after they guard whatever. Let's say I do this. Man, the tracking of this is good. But still, you can do like this. Just a few examples. Yeah, this character is ridiculous, guys, and it really is. So, is downfall 1 not only has a lot of range, which is +8, and this is natural hit combo, safe mid. It has this mid to condition you. It has launchings. This isn't exactly safe at all. The third hit is tappable, so you won't use as much, but his wave dash game is too strong. His wave dash game is too compelling, and it's easier to like respect Devil Jin when he's doing wave dash, because he has so much stuff. He has this, he can fly, he can electric, of course, and do some really crazy combos. And of course he has a back 4, and his back 4 is also a combo hit, a launcher. How do we do it down 4-2, right? Not use it to this character at all. Yes, we do it down 4-2. Sorry. Boy. And yes, that's Devil Jin. So while you are doing the jab, electric, and while standing for game plan of spacing, which enforces all Mishimas because the properties are pretty much the same, you have as complementary tools the hell sweep, which you are going to use while doing the jabs to condition them to duck. This you can also do this. You can do electric, or you can just do this into down 4, which is pretty good. You can do whoa, this is 15. Or you can just do like wave dash, of course, into crouch cancelling. It's not working right now. And yeah, that pretty much sums up his game, and you don't need to actually do too much stuff. Of course, his punishing game is still going to require you to understand this, and this is at 15, and understanding the other stuff, but his ground game is too good, right? This is a character that is crazy on 50-50. Even with this nerf, but it's still a crazy character on 50-50. If he locks you, it's just as bad as being cornered by Jin. And better yet, he has a mid that Jin doesn't have. This option right here, and it's safe, can be cancelled to make it more plus, where his electric becomes a 10 frame that you cannot jab or retaliate, because he's going to crush you on the frame. And let's just test this theory to see if it's actually true. So let's say they get hit by a down 4-1 on hit and try to retaliate as much as they can. Let's see if this works. See? Just a few, but it's just on the fight side, but it's possible. Yeah, it's pretty possible, and this character is disrespectful on this regard. Of course, he cannot do that, but he can still sidestep after he does the 4-4, right? not a really advisable stuff against this character. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the 3 videos. I believe with this one I'm going to merge it and make just one, and hope you guys stick around for more stuff to come. Maybe I should start playing more Heihachi, because it has actually been pretty fun. A pretty fun character to poke with and play with in most cases. But let's see. I believe in 2 days we're going to have our answer regardless the other stuff, and how they are going to address the Lord of the Drip, Leroy Smith. But most of all, let's see what Tekken holds for the future. So see you guys